Hello everyone, welcome back to Believer Science Academy, Bengaluru. This is topic of the day discussion, and in today we are going to discuss a very important topic, that is the friction between RBI governor and the Indian government. Okay, there has been an age-old long friction between RBI governors and the government of the day. Okay, in this regard, we will try to have a discussion. What are the reasons behind the friction between these two important organizations, and what are the reasons why the frictions arises here? Okay, what have been the previous examples of such frictions? Okay, so it is in news because who was the governor of RBI till now? It was Shaktikant Das. Shaktikant Das concludes his tenure as the governor of RBI on the December 10. His leadership witnessed a familiar tension between the central bank and the government. Okay, this friction, particularly over monetary policy decisions, echoes a long-standing history of conflicts between successive RBI governors and the governments. So this is not a new thing. The frictions have been happening since a long age. So we'll try to analyze and we'll try to understand what are the reasons behind it. Before that, we'll try to see what are the few instances where there was friction between the governor and the government. So tension between government and the governors. First one was Y.V. Reddy. Okay, he is a famous economist of India. He has also been a finance commission chairman of the finance commission, but he was RBI governor from 2003 to 2008. What is the reason for conflict? Is conflicts with the finance ministry. Reddy faced disagreements with the then finance minister P. Chidambaram, particularly over the development of financial markets and a controversial farm loan waiver of 60,000 crores. Okay, see, what is government? Government wants to do something to the people. Okay, in doing so, it is bringing populist measures. What are the populist measures? So that the government becomes more popular, so that it can get more votes in the next election. In that regard, the government can take many actions, many policies. One such policy was farm loan waiver of 60,000 crore. Okay, maybe there are many reasons for the farm waiver, but one of the reasons was that they can get the votes out of farmers. For this, Y.V. Reddy was not agreeing to this one, because Y.V. Reddy says that if you are going to loan like waiver 60,000 crores rupees of loans, then it is going to affect Indian economy badly. Okay, this was the issue between these two. And there was another issue against foreign exchange reserves debate. Okay, Reddy opposed utilizing India's growing forex reserves for government-backed lending without guarantees, ensuring fiscal prudence. Okay, so first we have to understand the mandate of RBI. What is mandate of the RBI? RBI's mandate is that RBI's main function or objective is price stability. Okay, price stability, and first one is price stability and promoting growth. These are the two mandates. So notice here, I have written price stability before, because the main mandate of RBI is stabilizing the price. So what is price stability? That the inflation is at the plus or minus 2, like 4 plus or minus 2. Okay, meaning it should be either 2 or between 6. That is, inflation rate should not be very high. If it is too high, it is going to impact the economy badly, and it is going to have impact on the price of the rupees. So price stability, only when the price is stable, then the RBI focuses on promoting the growth. Here, fiscal prudence in the sense, whenever the fiscal policy of the government, okay, whatever the fiscal policy the government is going to take, it should follow prudence, meaning you are not going to lend as you wish. You should not lend as you wish. You should not waiver the loans as you wish. You should not borrow as you wish. Okay, you should keep the health of the economy in your mind. Only then you can do the fiscal policies. But normally what the government do is, government focuses on promoting growth. What the governments are focused on, they are focusing on promoting the growth, and their mandate is to show people that they have achieved this percent of GDP, they have provided this employment, they have provided these many policies. Okay, for these policies, GDP, employment, what is required? Growth is required. That is why, since the first mandate of main aim of RBI is price stability, and what the government aims is promoting growth, so there is always conflict between both the government and the RBI governor or the central bank. If this is the first example, here what happened here is they wanted to use the forex reserves. Okay, India started receiving forex reserves in this time period from 2003 to 2008, they were receiving more forex reserves, and the government wanted to keep this forex reserves as a backing to give more lending or to give more loans to people. But RBI was against this. We have forex reserves now, but come for future date when we can lose this forex reserve. So if you are giving loans on the backing of forex reserve, when you lose the forex reserve, the loan become redundant, and you have to give the loan waiver again. So that is why you should not have done that. This was his opinion. This is YV Reddy. Okay, this was his opinion. Now moving on to the next RBI governor who had tussled with the government. Next is D. Subbarao. He also is one of the chief economists of India. Okay, D. Subbarao. He was heading between 2008 to 2013. So who was the finance minister during that time? It was again P. Chidambaram. Okay, so resistant to the cheerleading. There was a friction between government and Subbarao, that Subbarao frequently clashed with the finance ministers P. Chidambaram and Pranab Mukherjee over RBI's anti-inflation stance, which was perceived as a barrier to growth. Okay, so this person, this RBI governor, was kind of opposite of normal central bank governors. Okay, he wanted to have growth, and he was against the anti-inflation. He was like, sorry, okay, like the government wanted to have a like growth, and they pursued this anti-inflation measures of RBI as a barrier to growth. So they wanted to take away this RBI's anti-inflation measures, but he was against it. Okay, I already explained this similar thing. They wanted to reduce inflation, the government wanted to promote growth. Okay, which was not acceptable to governor. And creation of FSDC. What is FSDC? It is Financial Stability and Development Council. Okay, it aims at promoting financial or fiscal stability, and it aims at promoting development. So it was a statutory body established by the government. You might ask, this is a good statutory body, why is the RBI opposing it? According to Subbarao, he opposed the formation of FSDC because it is going to undermine the RBI's role in maintaining financial stability. Okay, one of the reason why government like established FSDC was that it can get away from the clutches of RBI. Okay, it can have an independent monetary like fiscal policy. Okay, where it can have like where it cannot clash with the RBI. So Subbarao said that by establishing FSDC, you are taking away one of the chief mandate of RBI, that is maintaining financial stability or price stability. And then after this, the other RBI governor who had clashes with the government was Raghuram Rajan. Okay, Raghuram Rajan was from 2013 2016. It is when the new NDA government started with Prime Minister Modi. So he was advocating independence. Okay, independence of whom? Independence of central bank, that is RBI. He strongly defended the RBI's autonomy, resisting government moves to shift money market regulation to RBI. Before this, money market, what a money market? Capital market, money market, token money, bonds. Okay, all this comes under money market. They were under the government like RBI regulation. But during this time period, these regulations were shifted to SEBI. He criticized this move because you are taking away powers from RBI. So that was his view. He famously emphasized the importance of RBI's ability to say no. Okay, RBI should say no to the government. RBI should not become a caged parrot. RBI should not say yes to everything the government says. So these are some two who he was against. And then he was also against demonetization disapproval. Okay, there was demonetization. He was against the demonetization trap. Rajan advised caution on demonetization, warning of the cost and preparation required. Okay, you are taking away complete money and then you are pushing in new money. So it is going to have large implications on the cost. You have to produce money, then you have to take back the money which has already been issued. So there is to be warning about the cost and preparation required. Then his recommendations were not heeded and his term ended shortly before the policy was implemented. Okay, he ended his term and he was his term was not extended anymore. And after him, there was another famous RBI governor, that was Urjit Patel. So if you read basic economics, that too in RBI or monetary policy, you might have read about Urjit Patel committee. Urjit Patel committee, like it recommended for price stability, that is whatever disparity, plus or minus 4 plus or minus 2, that is you have to maintain like inflation within 2 to 6%. Okay, within that you have to maintain. So these are the recommendations provided by Urjit Patel committee. So he was a very famous person, and then he was appointed as a governor. There was dispute over surplus transfer. Okay, Urjit Patel resisted the government's attempt to tap into RBI's excess reserves, leading to escalating tensions. Okay, RBI is gaining some sort of revenue. Okay, RBI is gaining some sort of revenue through loans, through taxation, not taxation, through interest cuts, and through issuance of currency. So it has some sort of surplus. Every year RBI is getting more surplus. The government wanted to use this surplus for the growth, okay, for the developmental activities, for the policies. But this Urjit Patel was against this move because he said that if we have more excess reserves with the RBI, RBI's rating at the international level will at the international level will stay at A or A plus. Okay, if the RBI's rating at the international level is high, then it will have more chances to get more loans. It will have more stability or more credibility at the international level. So he wanted to keep the surplus within RBI itself, but government wanted to take them with them. So resignation. So because of the tussle, he cited the personal reasons. Patel resigned amid increasing government pressure, notably after the invocation of Section 7 of RBI Act to influence the policy. Okay, like he gave the official reason as personal reasons, but what we can infer from here is he gave a resignation because he was not able to cope with the pressure, because there was extreme pressure from the government, and the government even went to the extent that it invoked Section 7 of RBI Act. You might ask, what is Section 7 then? Section 7 of RBI Act of 1934 says that central government has the power to direct RBI on matters of the public interest. So government said that we are going to invoke Section 7 of RBI Act to this purpose. Okay, Urjit Patel was against using surplus, and there was tussle. So government said, okay, you might be the governor of RBI, but we are the government. Under Section 7 of RBI Act, we have the right or we have the power to direct you to do as we wish. Okay, so because of this, he resigned from the office. And then after his resignation, Shaktikant Das was made as a governor. Initially, there was a lot of criticism because Shaktikant Das was perceived to be pro-government or pro-BJP or pro-NDA. He was a IAS officer or IRS officer who was made into governor. Okay, many criticize that he doesn't have the capacity to maintain RBI, etc. But his term proved to be very fruitful. But there were tussles between government and RBI governor also. That is, despite the government pressure to cut key policy rates to address GDP slowdown, the RBI maintained the repo rate at 6.50 to control inflation. Okay, so in the recent tenure of India government, one of the most key point was about the GDP slowdown. Initially, GDP was growing at 7%, 8%, and in the 2018, 2019, 20 before COVID itself, the growth was around 6%, 5%. Okay, so in order to arrest this slowdown, RBI, like government, wanted to reduce the tax rates. When the policy rates are not the tax rates, policy rates. When the policy rates are reduced, then there will be more money available at the hands of people, more money available at the hands of industries. So then they can use that money, then they can do more investment, and then they can have a virtuous cycle which is going to promote growth and arrest the slowdown. But RBI said that we cannot do this because it can have inflationary impacts. So RBI said we are going to allow policy cuts, but we are not going to allow policy cut rates above 6.50. Okay, repo rate is fixed at 6.50. It was one of the contention between RBI and the government, and this decision was opposed by Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman and Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal, highlighted that central bank's prioritization of inflation management over the growth stimulation. Okay, whatever I explained in the beginning, that is similar thing is happening here. Government wants growth, RBI wants stability. So that was conflict between both these things. So these are the few instances. Now we'll try to understand common themes on where the government and the RBI can have issues. Okay, first is autonomy of the central bank. Okay, RBI wants autonomy, or central bank wants some sort of autonomy so that it can work independently, so that it can have monetary policies which it feels necessary. It should work in an independent manner. But Section 7 says that government has the power. So there was an issue with respect to autonomy of governors and RBI. Government often push for accommodative monetary policies, while RBI governors prioritize inflation control and the fiscal discipline. What is accommodative stance? In accommodative stance, policy rates are cut down. Okay, interest rates are cut down so that more money is at the hands of people, more disposable income is at the hands of people, more money is at the hands of industries to invest. But RBI is like, if you provide more money at the hands of people, it is going to create more demand and it is going to create inflation. So that is the reasons why there is always issues between RBI and central government, sorry, RBI and government. Interest rate policies. Disagreements frequently arise over interest rate cuts as government aims to spur growth and it wants more interest rates while the RBI remains cautious about the inflation risk. I already explained here. Okay, and then regulatory jurisdiction. Conflicts over RBI's regulatory authority, including the disputes on financial market reforms and surplus reserves, underscore the tensions in governance, which we already discussed. And then there is diverging priorities. Okay, what are the diverging priorities? RBI's priority is inflation management of price stability. Government's priority is again growth. So while governments focus on immediate economic growth and the political considerations, the RBI emphasizes long-term economic stability. See, all these points are similar only, but how they are able to make 4 subheadings so that you can make a holistic answer for UPSC. This is how you should arrange your points. Okay, even though there is only one main point, that is stability versus growth, but they have arranged this in 4 points. Okay, you should also inculcate this habit. You should also develop this skill of writing more points in your answer. And then this is the current news, that is new 26th RBI governor is Sanjay Malhotra. Appointment committee of the cabinet gave its nod for the selection of 56-year-old Sanjay Malhotra, who is currently the Revenue Secretary in Finance Ministry, as the 26th RBI governor with effect from December 11 for the period of 3 years. So, anyone preparing for any competitive exams apart from UPSC, UPSC is not going to ask who is the current RBI governor, but for any other exams, competitive exams, remember the name Sanjay Malhotra, and is there for 3 years. And in 3 years, you can expect another tussle between him and the government. Okay, that is given. So this is about today's discussion. We discussed about section 7. We discussed about what are the reasons behind tussle between government and governor. Okay, so this is the video for today, and this is the discussion for today. If you gained anything out of this video, if you feel like this video was beneficial for you, then hit the like button, comment on it, and also share with your friends. And if you are new to the channel, then click on the subscribe button and click on the bell icon also, so that you don't miss notification. And with this, I will end the video. Jai Hind.